Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. Deathbreath, where I do spoiler-free film reviews and sometimes celebrity interviews. Before we begin, please turn on post notifications, please share this video, and please subscribe. Okay, so let's get a little bit into this movie really quick. Okay, so the synopsis is basically a former detective is dealing with his demons from a previous case, ends up joining forces with another detective to catch a serial killer. That former detective is played by Denzel Washington. The current detective is played by the everly talented, tight-lipped Raimi Malek. And of course, the serial killer is played by Jared Leto. This film was directed by John Lee Hancock, written and directed. So let's get into the good. So the good, right off the bat, performances by Raimi Malek. Raimi Malek does a phenomenal job. He has this really strange body language where he tends to always look like he's sucking on a lemon. For some reason, he tends to curl his bottom lip up where it looks like he's kind of making that Rick and Morty face, where it's just kind of strange, like he's kind of puckering his lips, but as if he was pointing his lips downward. His performance is fantastic. He's always so unique in his performances. He's very awkward but confident. I know, an oxymoron, right? And he always seems like he's analytical and analyzing everything. In addition, Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington does a phenomenal job, but I feel like there's a point where an actor starts kind of doing what's gotten them to the race. Now, this isn't a knock on Denzel Washington, but it also isn't a praise. It's kind of, I guess, in between. Really what it comes down to is Denzel Washington plays the gruff and tough, might smash your face through a plate glass window type character. You know, he's good at this character. He does a phenomenal job at it. But unfortunately, he's kind of playing the Denzel Washington character. You know what I mean? As good as he is, he's kind of just doing what he's doing. Like even Robert De Niro. You know, Robert De Niro at one point was this amazing actor that did choices, but now he plays Robert De Niro. And if you take it even further, he does like bad, comedies. Or like Al Pacino, for instance. You know, actors eventually start playing themselves. But he does deliver and does well. So it's expected and it's done well. Now, Jared Leto, he does a phenomenal job, and it's really interesting because he's a really good actor, but he also does some strange things. Like, for instance, you look at Suicide Squad, and you can say that was a good performance, or you can say, what kind of performance was that? What on earth was that? You know, but then on the other hand, you watch him in Dallas Buyers Club, and you're like, wow. I mean, even in the, 10 minutes of screen time he had in Lord of War with Nick Cage, he's an absolute monster in what he does, and he does a phenomenal job. So, what I love about this film specifically is it really invokes the vibe of Seven. It has that type of mystery, with the murky backgrounds, with the different color tones of the cinematography. You see lots of greens and shadows and just very murky and dark. But what I also like about this film in addition is really that the cops feel very LA Confidential. If you haven't seen LA Confidential, it's a fantastic film starring Guy Pearce, Russell Crowe, and basically it's a cop movie. And the cops feel very much like that. They feel like the gumshoe detectives with the flipped notebooks and the scratch pads. It feels very much like they're that procedural cop type. So it's almost as if you kind of blended the characters of LA Confidential with the background and vibe and feel and essence of Seven is what you end up getting here. Another fantastic thing that director and writer John Lee Hancock does is his camera angles. There's literally a point where we're waiting at a stop sign and we're on the side of the driver's side of the car. And it's so well done and so unique and so immersive. And the score is ridiculous. The score is fantastic. As always, very few films are immune for the bad, so let's get into the bad. So the bad. Jared Leto doesn't make his performance debut until about almost an hour into the film, if I have to guess. He's severely underutilized. While he's utilized well, it's just not enough screen time. Another issue I had is really that someone made a mistake. I don't know. When Jared Leto is walking around, he kind of looks like this scummy guy, and he has like a tummy or a pooch or like a baby gut. But whatever he has doesn't look convincing. It looks like someone literally got a rolled up shirt and shoved it into his button-down t-shirt. Or button-down shirt. That's what it looks like. You can even see this thing taking shape and forming like sinkholes. It never looks convincing. I don't know whose idea was that, but it just doesn't work. Or maybe it was Jared Leto getting method, thinking that this man would want to look different to disguise himself. I don't know. If that is the case, then amazing, but it doesn't come across that way. It just comes across as someone didn't invest in a bodysuit when they clearly have the budget. My final complaint really is the resolution. There is a resolution, but it's not a satisfying resolution. If anything, the film manages to show more how the characters are by the time the film's over. But it doesn't necessarily make you feel satisfied. Okay, so let's give this a rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is The Little Things? On a scale of 1 to 10, The Little Things is an 8 out of 10. While it's a great journey with great performances, it just fails with the lack of satisfying resolution, and that's really it. I mean, if you don't tell a good story from start to finish, it's not necessarily going to be a great story to be told. Hey guys, as always, thanks for watching. Little Things is available on HBO Max to subscribers. And as always, I will see you soon.